Well, hi, hey, howdy everybody, it's Cal, welcome to the channel. I hope you're doing well. Now, just hold on a second before you start disliking the video, unsubscribing, and start leaving comments about how I sound like Cartman from South Park. Hear me out, just hear me out, okay? I think overall, Twitch and YouTube have done more good than bad, okay? Twitch and YouTube have done great things for the gaming community as a whole. I mean, they legitimize gaming as not only a hobby, but even now as a career. And people's lives have been changed by the opportunities that they've been given to be able to make their living playing video games through Twitch and YouTube. And that can't be ignored, and it can't be overlooked. And so overall, I definitely feel that Twitch and YouTube have done more good than bad, but I also think that they are inadvertently hurting a specific section of the gaming community, the casual gaming community. At least from what I've experienced and what I've seen with me and my friends. This is all personal opinion from what I've seen in my corner of the world, and so this may not apply to you. It may not be real to you, but to me and my friends, it really is. Alright, so I was born in 97, so I'm 23 years old, and so I grew up in the PS2, GameCube, PS3, and Xbox 360 era, so I essentially grew up in what I consider to be the best era of gaming, right when gaming was starting to become way more mainstream, and multiplayer gaming was something that everybody really had access to. And from the 2010 era to now, I've definitely seen a massive shift in casual gaming experience, okay? And personally, I attribute that shift in casual gaming to the success people have had on Twitch and YouTube. Now here's the thing, okay? People have been making money on Twitch and YouTube for a long time now. This is not something that like just started last year or last month, and this is something that's been going on for quite a while, but something definitely seems to be different now from what I've seen. And personally, I think that it has to do with the insane amount of money and fame that people have been getting recently from gaming. I mean, people I think about are like Booga, who won the Fortnite World Cup, who took him a $3 million prize. Who took him $3 million. And up to that point, that was the most money given out for a single winner in gaming. And I think actually overall, over everything, every prize ever given out, I think that was the highest prize ever given in the history of anything, actually. I don't know about that for sure. I just heard that somewhere. It could be false. Anyway, so we have that, but we also have these exclusivity deals that people like Ninja and Shroud got, and they got 30 million and 10 million respectively, or so they say. I mean, honestly, I believe it. I wouldn't be surprised if it was even more, but that's the rumor that people have been saying, okay? And it seems that people are just generally more open and honest about how much money they've been getting from these things. It seems like back in the 2010, 2013 era, while people were making money, they weren't super open and honest about how much they were actually getting. And now that it's become way more mainstream, and these streamers and gamers are getting actual like TV coverage, people are now seeing the prosperity that there is in gaming and how much money you can make in this thing. And personally, I think that directly translates into gaming as a whole. I mean, everyone wants to be the next big streamer and content creator, and the main way to get that fame is just by being insane at whatever game you play, the newest game that comes out, just being insane at it. So naturally, you have all these kids and people with a ton of time that spend it all on gaming, and they get really good really fast at whatever game comes out, you know? And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but if you're like me, you have a job, you have responsibilities, you have different interests, hobbies, friends you hang out with, maybe a spouse, kids, whatever. You have things in your life that take up a majority of your time, and you can't spend all your time gaming. Gaming just becomes something that you do at the end of the day that calms you down. It's not something you spend a lot of time on. You may only spend a few hours on it every day or even a week. And so when you don't play games religiously, like these kids do, you naturally aren't as good as them. You naturally aren't as good at games as someone who spends a majority of their time doing it. And this is really where the problem arises, at least with what I've seen. Again, this is all personal opinion from what I've seen. If this is different, let me know. Leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear what your experience is and what you've seen. So the two main games that I've been playing for the past 2 years with my friends are Fortnite and Call of Duty. Okay? And literally every single one of them stopped playing these games because they were saying that people are just too good. And it basically made the game not fun for my friends to play. They found other things to spend their time on because honestly, getting destroyed by a cracked out 10-year-old just wasn't fun, especially if that's what you normally used to do to wind down at the end of the day. You go through work, you come home, you do your responsibilities, you spend your last hour of your day playing video games. They don't want to. People don't want to spend the last hour of their day, the small amount of time they have for themselves, getting destroyed by a 10-year-old who's been playing for 8 hours that day. It's just not fun. They don't have as much time to devote to gaming as a kid does, so naturally they can't ever get as good as the kid who wants to be a streamer or content creator. And this is going to probably sound like the most boomer thing I've ever said or ever will say, but back in my day, okay, it seems like people didn't try nearly as hard in video games back then than they do now, okay? Gaming was nothing more than a hobby, and only a select few people really made money doing it, you know, so people didn't really allocate a ton of time to it, okay? So you could play Call of Duty for an hour a day and still compete, or even less. You could still compete with people because people weren't always spending 8 hours a day playing the game. You could compete with people if you even put in a little bit of time or effort. But now that people realize how much money they can make from gaming and how many people are actually making money from it, it seems like everybody is trying to make videos and have good streams and sweating their balls off to get good content. And while I agree that watching cracked out gameplay is entertaining, it seems that people are overlooking other avenues that they can use to grow. And instead of these kids like developing their personality and becoming a well-rounded individual, they're spending all their time gaming just to try to get good clips, and they stream snipe people to be like, oh wow, like I killed this guy, wow, I didn't have an unfair advantage at all. That's all they're doing. That's what they're spending their time on. They seem to think that the only way to get recognition is by being insanely good in the game. And while that does help, don't get me wrong, being good at something, being better than everyone else will get you recognition. It seems like people are forgetting that there's other things that you can experience growth in. A perfect example of what I mean by this is someone like Tim the Tatman, okay? He's a perfect example of someone who found a different way to grow and stand out, okay? He's not that good at games. I'll say, okay, I like Tim. I watch him almost every day, but he's just not the best, okay? But that's okay, because he has an amazing personality. People are drawn to his content and streams because of his personality, and that's why people stay. And watching him rage over Fall Guys is just funny. It really is. I guess the point that I'm trying to make is that I've seen a difference in the overall skill level of gamers as a whole, and I attribute that to the success people have had on Twitch and YouTube and the alluring nature of making money while playing video games. I mean, kids are seeing all these cracked out gamers like Shroud, Booga, and Courage JD, and they want to be just like them. They want to spend all their time and be just like them and be super cracked. I guess I just really worry about the casual gaming community going forward. I'm worried that being a casual gamer just won't be viable or fun, and that the only way to truly have fun in games going forward will be to sweat and play nonstop, and that's just not realistic for normal people like me, and personally that's really depressing to think about. That was the point I was trying to get across, that all these kids are super cracked, trying to be the next streamer, and so they spend all their time gaming, and people like me, the casual gamer, can't keep up with them. You know, that's the point I was trying to get across in this rant, whatever the heck it was. But the point that probably came across was that I'm a salty boomer who like sucks at games and longs for the glory days of gaming with my friends, when, you know, glory days when people could just mess around, have fun, and still do good in a video game. Wow, yeah, you know, but whatever. Okay, so I tried to make a non-meta M4, which honestly, thinking about it, is like an oxymoron, because apparently you can't make a non-meta M4. But the M4 setup I have here is I have the stock M16 Grenadier barrel. The optic is a sniper scope. I'm using no stock. I'm using the burst perk, and my ammunition is the SOCOM 10-round mags. And honestly, I thought it was gonna suck, but it actually fries. I'll be honest. You probably can't use it in Warzone. But you should still give it a shot. I think it was pretty fun. If you like this video, make sure to hit like and subscribe, as it helps me out a lot. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Enemy at the center.
Enemy sighted.
We have taken the lead. Hard point contested.
Got movement here.
Enemy cruise missile. This is our fight. Stay focused. Ten seconds. Get ready to move. Next hard point. Let's go. Enemy UAV overhead.
Enemy at the construction site.
Enemy's got the hard point. Enemy cluster strike.
Enemy at
Take
the
cover.
laundromat.
UAV is ready for flyover.
This is Rocket. Good copy. UAV beginning. No loss. UAV is...
Cruise missile ready to launch. Hard point secured.
Got movement here.
Enemy's got the hard point. Hard point secured. 10 seconds. Get ready to move. Enemy UAV overhead. Go. Get to the next one.
Enemy at the trench.
Hard point lost.
Falcon 3-0. Cruise missile away. That's a kill.
Hard point
Enemy at the
secured.
barber shop.
Enemy personal radar overhead.
Enemy at the yellow building.
Good. Our face and you was well placed.